I'm just going for a walk with my daughter, so if you hear a noise in the background, that's my daughter. Okay, the topic of this video is the best reseller that I know do these things. Obviously, like a lot of you guys are watching this video. Maybe you're a reseller, or maybe you're just a fan, or maybe you're just trying to get into reselling, or maybe you just want to learn the game. I've been doing reselling as a hobby since the age of 18. That was a long time ago. And then I did it full time when I was at the age of 26, 27. That's over a decade ago. Now we are doing it just at a more manageable level. I'm only going to speak from personal experience. I'm not going to speak from videos I've watched and people. I'm only going to speak from people I talk to. One, I have personal relationship with because we talk every single day. The other, I talk constantly on Instagram. Now, being a full-time reseller, if you are a newbie, I've been there, done that, got up in the morning, sleep 3 hours, get up at 6 o'clock on a flight to unpick, just go. Made money, lost money, made a ton of money, so lost a few as well, and then, and then COVID happened, things happened. But anyway, what's gonna fix your sales issue? If you're trying to get sales, the best reseller I know of immense, like encyclopedia amount of knowledge about vintage clothing. They can tell you the year, the tags, the brand. They know what brand sells. They know what brand doesn't sell. They even know how to people that I don't even know have existed. So I'll give you an example. I'm gonna name drop one of my friends, spent the line, the founder of Golagom. We talk every day anyway on WhatsApp, share ideas, just like, and for 7 years it was number one guy in ASOS, Now, on one hand, you're gonna have people that have aesthetic, they're gonna play aesthetic, which is you're gonna invest in photography, you're gonna invest in the detail, a little bit expensive up front, but once you build a brand, you're good to go. On the other hand, it's just strictly business. This might be flat lay, little to no attention to details, and you're playing the volume game. A prime example, someone I can think of would be Messina Hambry. This is someone that's got a lot of products, not only on eBay, on his personal website. If you're gonna play the volume game, you are gonna make a lot more sales. It's a lot of work, and obviously, it's how do I say? It's like a numbers game, which is okay. You can play the numbers game. Now, first one is either you're gonna go with aesthetic, or are you gonna go with brand? Are you gonna just go with? Are you just gonna go with volume? Now, the second thing I have to say is, if you do reselling full time, and this is how you want to make your money, and you want to do it full time, you have to give yourself no way out, and that means you got to be absolutely freaking committed. You got to be committed. You can't take it half-assed. You can't. When I was doing it as a hobby, I'll do it here and there, and then and take into fact that you'd also have to be in the right place, the right time, in the right team. Everything has to align. When I initially started, I was living in the middle of nowhere. I didn't have access to models. I had an iPhone. I just went to the charity shop and just I didn't have the support that probably that's not an excuse, but I didn't have everything that, But as soon as I had a bit of leverage, a bit of team, you can go back and forth, travel. I had someone else to help me, navigate the whole process. And if we needed a model, we can always go pick them up, even if they live 30 minutes away, or we can just pay them to just come down. Another thing I want to mention is momentum. Sometimes you're going to get momentum. So there'll be good time and bad times. That's just the nature of business, Sometimes you got to ride out the bad time, Just got to dog it out. When you get a momentum going, you just have to absolutely go with the momentum. And sometimes you can just lay back. You can slow down the momentum by maybe you overwork yourself, you burn out. Obviously, the best thing is you want to start building a team of people. My friend Spence, for example, the owner of Golagom, he had 25 people working for him at some stage. So if you're gonna be like a number one proper reseller, I know it takes time to build it up if you're up and coming. Maybe the first 2 years, you're going to be absolutely just working just to get the business to a point of having enough salary save up. So when you're employed somewhere, you can keep the machine going, you know. And obviously most people business are not going to be profitable within the first 2 years, you know. The first 2 or 3 years, you're just trying to find your feet. And then, now, the next thing I want to mention is great product. Don't pick up cheap product. And I've done this mistake. You know, sometimes I understand, like, it's hard if you haven't got the capital, or maybe it's capital intensive to get all the good stuff. You can start off with whatever you have. Maybe you start off with 50 stuff, about 50 great item, you know, and where you can get enough margin, from, and then, you know, that means whatever's left is just pure profit between fees, promotion fees, and paying for that and paying for this, you know. This last 2 things I'm gonna mention is quite important. Even though you want to play the aesthetic game, you have to absolutely upload 150 product to 250 product a day, or not less than 1,500 to 2,000 products a week. Or you could do that in a month, give and take, depending on how much stock you can source. If you have access to a good supplier that can supply you stuff, you know, you'll have to keep the ball running. Now, that's if you're running a big operation. If you're just playing the aesthetic game, you're just focusing on quality of the products, that's absolutely fine. And then also you need system in place. So when I was doing it by myself, trying to find a product, do all the work, it's just so labor intensive that the amount of work that goes into the business is maniacal. You just gotta have grit, which is why, like, I don't envy any of those guys that build a big brand, because I know the amount of work ethic it takes. It's just maniacal, you know. You can't take too much time off, and then, you know, you might just lose momentum. So, just to recap, obviously you need a great product, great team, you need great photography. That's debatable, because I've seen people with crap photographers still make a killing out of it, you know. And you just need to show up consistently every day. Consistency is underrated, absolutely underrated. And there you have it. Any questions, leave a comment below. If you want to support me, check out the website. We'll see you guys in my next video.